In this video, we're going to explore how to share the new Power BI reports in Business Central with users. The first time a user comes to view the Power BI reports in Business Central, they may find that they see this message appear first. So if we go to open one of the reports, we will get this pop-up requesting that we set up Power BI reports in Business Central. This is slightly misleading. It isn't actually asking to set up the Power BI reports. All this step is doing is validating that this user has a Power BI license and access to Power BI. So all we need to do here is click Next. Through the steps, as we can see, we're just checking a Power BI license, and that's that step done. Once we've clicked Finish, the user is then ready to view the Power BI reports in BC. The reports only have to be set up in each Business Central company once. However, you'll find that the first time a user goes to view these reports, they may see something like this. If they navigate to All Reports and choose one of the Power BI reports, you may see a window like this appear. So essentially what's happening here is because the user doesn't have access to the report in Power BI itself, the error message appears in Business Central. So to share reports with users, we have to navigate back over to Power BI and ensure that each user has access to view the report there so that they may see it in Business Central. So within Power BI, we need to come into the workspace related to the app that we're looking to give users access to. Each app has its own dedicated workspace. So a workspace is an area in Power BI that can store multiple reports, semantic models, which is the data set behind a report, and also dashboards. But each workspace can only have one app. Each of the Business Central apps already has a workspace set up for you when you install them, and in each of these workspaces you'll find the Finance app report and the related semantic model. So to give users access to these reports in Business Central, we need to make sure that they can access them here in Power BI. To add a new user, we need to go up to Manage Access at the top of the page, and here we can add people or groups. When you add a new user, you have 4 options available to you related to the permissions that you want this user to have in the workspace. An admin user can add and remove users from the workspace, as well as all of the reporting related functionality, including uploading new reports and modifying existing reports. A member can control all of the reporting aspects of the workspace, but isn't able to add new users or remove existing users. A contributor can use existing reports and can view the report files and also the semantic models. And a viewer can only view the report files and dashboard files in a workspace. They do not have access to the semantic model. A key difference between viewer and a contributor or member is having access to the semantic model. So what that means is, as a contributor, if I switch over to Benjamin can view the Finance app semantic model. And from this page, he can analyse the data in Excel, which means he can access the raw data behind the report. Now, if you only want users to be able to view the reports as you have created them, or as the standard apps present them, then you would want them to only have the viewer permission so that they can't access the data behind the report. If I come back into the workspace and change Benjamin to a viewer, and go back over to Benjamin's Power BI, the semantic model file has disappeared and Benjamin now only has access to the Finance app report file. Once Benjamin has been given access to the report file in Power BI, if we go back to Business Central and to All Reports, the permissions error has now disappeared and Benjamin now has access to the financial reports. These steps need to be repeated for each of the Power BI apps, so I would need to add Benjamin into all of the workspaces for the apps I want him to be able to see. The other aspect of sharing these reports with our users is giving them access to the app itself in Power BI. So as an admin, I can see I have all of the workspaces available, and also each of the apps is available to me on the apps page. Now, in order to get the users seeing this aspect and seeing the app itself, I need to install the app for the users, as opposed to them having to go and download them themselves. We can share them with users that have access to those reports. So if I go back to the Finance workspace and go over to Update App, on the Permissions tab, I have a checkbox for install this app automatically. What this does will install the app on the Power BI apps page for all users who have access to it. Now, if the user is in the workspace, by default, they will have access to the app. So essentially what this is doing is installing the app for all of our workspace users. So if I then click update app, I'll have a message saying it'll take 5 to 10 minutes. Generally, this is dependent on how many users you're installing the app for. If it's just 1 or 2, it won't take very long at all. And once that's been published, if I now go back over to Benjamin and go to my apps page, I can then see Benjamin has access to the Finance Reports app.